so what other direction do we need to clamp to get over the ball? I kind of just gave you the answer, but we need to clamp towards the ball, right, or to the right. And what else? Towards the what? The ground, right? Why? What do we need to do when we clamp? Get our top edge over, correct? How many guys have seen anybody work with resistance bands? You guys think it helps? Yeah. Definitely, right? So one thing you guys can do, you buy like little resistance bands or clips on Amazon. You strap them up to like netting or the wall, and all you do is just work on your clamp motion to develop that forearm snap, which is really hard to do, just like in the weight room, right? So we're gonna work on now, it's called the elevator drill. And this is to work on getting our top edge to the what? Ground, correct. So we're gonna be in our stance, and you're gonna half clamp for me, all right? We're gonna go 3 sets. The first set, I'm above the ball, all right? And we're gonna buzz through this a little quicker. You guys know the pace now. I'm above the ball. Set, bang. I try to keep this left hand motion short, and again, dropping all that weight to the ground. Next rep, you're covering like 60% of it. So you go from half clamp to a little more, right? That's probably it. See like that. Set. You guys hear that plastic snap? Last rep, like 75%. So for me to get over this ball, can I just come straight down? I have to continue to do what? Go down the what? Line, right? So my left hand is coming in to snap over. Notice, is my left hand curled or straight? Curled. So what am I doing with both my wrists? Turning. And what can help me get over the ball? What 2 parts of my upper body, aside from my wrists and forearms, can help create torque or leverage going down? Well, it comes from my legs. Who said it? Shoulders, and what else?
Head.
Head. So where should my shoulders and head come?
Face the ball.
Right over the ball. Second set, we're gonna do the same thing. 50, 60, 70%, but I'm gonna go just above the ground, all right? So I'm not as high up, just above the ground. Bang, same thing, all right? Third set, we're on the ground, but we're pretty light with our hands. Bang, top edge down, keeping this motion short. So if you guys want, one thing that I like to do, this is totally optional, I love grabbing like a different colored ball. Come back down me. When I do this drill, I put this maybe 2 glove lengths in front of the line. Why?
So you can punch to it?
Hopefully I don't hit it, right? I keep my motion short. This is like a little benchmark or reference point for me, so I know if I'm executing that technique well. Let's see if you do a good job. Down, set, go. Pretty close, but good, right? Now, did you guys see a difference when I clamped them and he did?
Yeah.
Who got their top edge over a little more? Who's probably done it a few hundred more times,
Yeah.
maybe a couple thousand more times? Probably me, right? But you can hear the plastic snap. Clamp again, set, right? You guys don't hear the plastic like pop. Half clamp for me. Listen, you guys hear how I drive right through a stick? That's the sound you should hear every time. Got it? Let's go find a new partner. Wrist, shoulder, head, push off the toes, set. Good. Set. Good, we're gonna stick with partner 1. You're staying clamping. Remember, just above the ground now, down. Right hand. Set. Good, stop, much better. Better to throw. Down. Set. Down. Set. Partner. Oh boy, you're still up. What's the last set? Remember, on the ground, right? Down. Remember, really get those knuckles and shoulders over from the line up. Legally and regular now. Set. Good. Do it. Down. Set. Down. Last one. Set. Good. Partner 2. Before we get into lives, I told you we're going to work on it. What was it? Who remembers? Stand up and what else? They kind of go hand in hand. Neutral grip as well as, starts with C. Counters, correct. So, how many guys have faced off stand up or faced off against someone standing up in the past year? How'd you do? Better or worse? Against someone standing up. Better? So they weren't as good. And then what if you stood up?
Better.
Better? So why would we stand up?
You guys beat me to the clamp.
You could stand up to play better defense on the face-off. Stand up to be like more of a defensive or counter guy, right? Everyone needs that, oh crap, I'm losing, second move or strategy, because there may be a day, and it happens to all of us, I want to say it doesn't happen to me, but it still does sometimes, where you're going to be just slower on the whistle than the other guy, right? And you need to figure out a way to win so your team has a better chance of winning. So you could stand up and play defense. Now what's one of the main moves we would do if we stand up and play defense?
Jam.
Jam.
Rake.
Rake is the most common one. Fish hook. Those are probably the big three, right? So how do we jam from standing up? Who knows?
You
Cut off
You-
the.
go like this, and it cuts off the
Yes, the goal is to get my shaft into the weakest spot of his head, the top of the stick. But if he's beating me on speed, is it likely that I'm gonna get my shaft all the way there before he just clamps over it? No, what's closer than my shaft? The head of my stick and my hand. So what I ideally want to do if I was going to do neutral grip, I actually like jamming knee down better. But I'm trying to get my pinky or my thumb right to that ball because that can stop him from clamping. And now I roll those wrists back and throw that jam across. So that's one thing we can do. Second, what can we do?
rake.
Rake. How do we rake? There's a couple different rakes.
You can drop your wrist and then slide across.
Yes, so that's like a laser, right? Where I curl this wrist and this one, and what I'm trying to do is swipe here and pull with my left hand just enough so I can swipe that ball out with that top edge. So I'd be light on my hands and try to knife that ball out. I think the most effective way to rake is called a scissor rake. Why? Where does he have the most control with his stick?
Right hand.
Right hand. If I can get this right hand off the ground, whose chances of winning the face-off get a lot better? Yours, mine, right? So what I would do on a scissor rake is wide stance. My right hand knifes into his stick, and my left hand pulls back, and I drop my body over the ball. Why would I knife into his stick? How many of you guys have a channel in your stick where if you hold your hand like this, you can hold the stick up? Almost everybody, right? You can grab the stick. So if I was coming down, you want to come down there? And I'm able to knife in like this as you go to clamp, I can grab his stick and pull him off the ground or past the ball. Now it's a 50-50, that's exactly what I want. So that's my personal favorite, right? Jamming works, lasering could work. What's a fish hook? Who knows how to do that? What is it?
Where you're down and then you put your left hand on the ground and then you swipe across the.
Yes, so actually a couple kids did this in college. So when I was scouting, the Brown kid did a really good job of it. He tried to do it a lot against like Erlin. Who else did he do it against? He did it against the Penn kid, Kyle Gallagher, who's very good. And all you do, and this is premeditated, you have to know you're doing this off the whistle. I'm dropping my left hand to the ground, and I'm coming underneath and perpendicular to that line with my right hand. So as he goes to pinch that ball, I'm coming under. So you want to come back down with me? Just go to pinch it right away. As I go here, I come like this, and I lift, and see how I can knock him off balance pretty easy. It actually works very well if you're going against somebody who lifts his left hand. How do we defend that? Drop your left hand down, defensive exit. Exactly, right? How do we play offense from stand up? Can we move back a little bit?
You just.
What's our main move? Pinch and pop, right? So when I clamp from stand up, do I want to rotate? No. Why? Who has the strength advantage if I'm like this and he's like that? Moto grip, right? So what I'm gonna do is I stab down the line, so my right hand stabs in and my top edge comes down a little bit to get the ball to the throat. What does my left hand do?
Lift.
Lifts right up, not out, right up. So I go bang and I try to get right on top of that ball, all right? What happens if we lock up? What should I do? No. If If we get a little bit of this ball, yes, so I hold here with all my pressure. The second my opponent goes to rotate, what does he open up for me? Fast break, right? Because he's going that way. As he rotates, I roll my wrist back as I keep pressure, and I try to pull that ball out for a quick front door exit. Make sense? Last thing, stance. What do I want to focus on when I'm standing up? Yeah, weight on my feet, not on my hands. Pointed towards the ball. Principles are the same. Where do my head, shoulders, and hips face? To the ball, right? So I'm pointing. You can go left foot up to the line or right foot. I think left foot actually helps you get into it a little more. Again, we're driving off that toe. This is our plant foot. My elbows can rest on my knees. As soon as I hear set though, I take them off so I'm ready to pop over that ball and push off those toes. Got it? How do we practice stand up? Who knows?
With a partner?
You can do a partner, right? So we're gonna do stand up versus knee down, all right? If I'm going knee down, I'm gonna go 5 reps. You're gonna go 5 reps. We're gonna swap twice, so we each get 10. Make sense? How do we defend against stand up if someone's really good at punching the ball or raking? You could go stand up too, but there should be a better way. Most people think to defend against a rake, you need to do what? Because they're raking the ball this way, they think you just have to punch down the line. Now, slow motion, if I'm trying to clamp the ball up here, because that's where he's raking to it, I want to get these forearms down, but you see how long it takes me to get all the way over the ball? So what I teach, and I think works great, is as you punch your right hand in versus a rake versus stand up, all I'm doing is lifting my left hand and kind of pulling it back. So it's bang, right here, and I try to trap that ball to the ground by getting my top sidewall over. Make sense? All right, let's go, partner up. So, why do we want to pinch the ball? I think this is always the next step, and I kind of go back and forth whether I teach rotating first or pinching, but I think pinching kind of goes naturally in the progression that we're on. But why would we pinch the ball?
So you have control over it?
So you can, yes, we clamp to secure the ball, pinch for control, and to direct it where we want, all right? So more often than not, where are we putting this ball when we pinch it? We're trying to put it.
Throat.
Trying to, yeah, we want it in the throat, but after.
Forward.
We're trying to pinch this ball so we can throw it in the air, and we ourselves can catch the ball. The one skill that can make you guys a dominant face-off guy that nobody can scout is if you can win the ball to yourself. We talk about some of those guys we watched in the college games, and the best guys win the ball to themselves consistently. Reed and I were watching the Penn State game this morning. Guess how many ground balls the Penn State face-off guy had at halftime?
10.
Who said it? What'd you say?
10.
20?
10.
He had 20, I thought you said 20. He had 20 ground balls in the first half. You guys know that some guys, like on defense, don't get 20 ground balls for the whole season? It's a lot. So, if we can win the ball to ourselves, that takes wing play completely out of the equation, which makes it really difficult for the other team to win any faceoffs if you're winning clamps. So the goal when pinching the ball is that every clamp win you guys get, you pinch and catch that ball yourself. Now, if teams make adjustments and you use your wings, that's definitely one thing. Like if you leave the guy wide open on the backside, you can knock the ball out to him. But we want to develop those skills so you guys can all be dominant in your careers. How do we pinch the ball? Who knows?
You drive your hand in and then you lift your left hand.
Yep, so what hand kind of stays locked into the ground? Right. Do I push my right forward or does my wrist kind of snap back from my body?
Forward.
Snap back. So if anyone sees their partner or any buddies push or pinch the stick this way, is that correct? No, why? What does it prevent me from being able to do?
Popping it out forward.
Popping it out forward, which is why we all want to pinch it, right? We want to score goals too. We're not just face-off guys. So when we punch this right hand, it's important you almost flex that wrist back as my left hand, what I like to call, rows the boat or wrenches. So what my left hand is doing is going out, up, and back towards my body. Where's one place I can kind of use for a frame of reference that I can pull this butt in? Cranking, but where can I pull it on my physical body? Armpit or my ear. So some guys like pinching like this, which allows for me to drop that right shoulder down and get a little more bend in my stick. For younger players, this is really good. Also, and what I think I like more is armpit, because even if my hand were to get taken off, I can pin it right under my body. You guys see that? The ball stays locked in. So what we're gonna do what we call pinch progression. It'll just be a set of 4 whistles. Clamp, pinch, hop, and then we're gonna pop. So why do I hop with my feet on one side of the line?
So you can go either way.
So I can go right or left, depending on my opponent. We're gonna work on both, but for starters, we'll just pop it to the left. I wanna always try to pop this ball right outside my left knee and catch it to my hip. Why? Who can't get it if it's over here?
The other
Opponent, because my body is in the way. Got it? So we're gonna do that pinch progression, and then we're gonna work on doing it with a partner. You guys got it?
Yes, sir.
Second drill, we just call it around the world. They're stationary exits. We're gonna work on popping front left, back right, and front right. So when we get to this tripod or pro hop position, for back left, all we're gonna do is drop step, drag past my front foot, catch. For back right, like we said, all we do is we pinch, we roll those wrists back, turn our shoulders, pop it backwards, and then front right is very similar. Got it? Everyone grab a ball, find a spot in the line, I'll talk us through it.